Hey, what is up you guys? My name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face tutorial of this fall grungy-ish sort of look, and nothing that is on my face is over $10. I'm going to do a very nice affordable tutorial today, and because I'm a cruelty-free channel, everything on my face is also cruelty-free. So cruelty-free, nothing over $10. Can't beat that. I try to vary the brands as much as possible. I think I managed to limit myself to 4 ColourPop products, which is good for me because like 50% of my collection is ColourPop. So we have some NYX, some CoverGirl, some e.l.f., some ColourPop, and quite a few other brands. Everything on my face will be linked down below if you are interested in it. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe, and let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I'm getting started with my eyes today, and like usual I'll be priming my eyes with my Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I think this is just all around such a good eyeshadow primer. It's only $7 and it's my favorite. Like, I reach for this over the Urban Decay Primer Potion and over pretty much any other eye primer. I haven't tried a whole ton of eye primers, but this one is just like, it's really good. So for the bulk of my eyes, I'm going to be using the Revolution London Reloaded Vitality palette. This palette is $7 and it's a very obvious dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette. So I know pretty much everyone has either that palette or a dupe for that. So it should be really easy for you to follow along. I think these palettes are great. Like I said, they're only $7 and they're pretty big. I have 3 of them. And they're palettes where if you're someone who really likes a lot of pigment, I don't think you're gonna like these, but they're very buildable and blendable, so that's why I like them personally. I'm gonna start out with this shade in the bottom corner, which is like this red burgundy shade, and I'm using a BH Cosmetics Studio Pro 16. So I'm just kind of starting in the outer corner, using a light hand and swirling that outwards. But like, see, that's blending so nicely. It's not like giving you, like, when you use the Modern Renaissance palette, you like really have to use like a super light hand and just like really work to blend the shadows out. And I think that's a great formula too. They just like each have their perks to them. Alright, and I'm going to use that same brush and go into this shade right here, which is like a little bit more of a pinky burgundy than a reddish burgundy. I just want to kind of add a little bit of a purpley tone to that red. Yeah, I keep thinking there's a mirror on here and there's not. It's like these different palette. I think this shade is called Venetian Red in the Modern Renaissance. And for just a skosh of definition, I'm going into this dark brown shade. I believe it's called Burnt Umber in the Modern Renaissance. And this is a BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. And I am very gently putting that in the outer corner. And for my lid shade, I'm going to be using a ColourPop Jelly Much shadow. This is the shade Late Bloomer. It's this like blue brown, but it has like, I don't really, it's like eggplanty and like really fun. So all of the Jelly Much shadows are $8 and I think they're phenomenal. If you watch my channel, you know I'm just like a fan of really textured eyeshadows, and I just like things that like bring a lot of oomph to the shadow look. I'm like, the more like glittery and textured my lids look, the better. So I like to use a flat like concealer little paddle brush thing to apply these. Just kind of like get some product on there, and you kind of just like put it all like in one place on the eye and then just like swipe it out. You can also use your finger to apply these, but like these are like really intensely glittery and it's like kind of hard to get off of your finger. So if you're moving on to do the rest of your eyeshadow, it's like not the best. But these are like I think they're so fantastic, and they're like not like really talked about that much, and I don't know why, because they're so awesome. Like, look at that shimmer. So for primer, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is $8 and a fantastic dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I've never bought that, but I've gotten samples of it from Sephora, and like I don't notice a difference between the two, so. I only put this in my T-zone because it seems like pointless to put it where I don't have a lot of skin texture. So I have a lot of drugstore foundations that I really like, but unfortunately a lot of those have been discontinued. So I really like CYO Life Proof. I really like the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation, and both of those have been discontinued. I also really like this Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick, which is $9 and you can get it at Ulta. And I really like the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation. I also like ColourPop Stick Foundation, which I believe is $10. For the sake of using the absolute cheapest one we can, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation today. And I do need to mix this because the shade range is like not the best. So this is Porcelain. And you can see that would look a little orange on my face. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that white mixer in there as well. So this is the ColourPop sponge. I'm not someone who likes a ton of coverage in my foundations, so when I'm using like a more full coverage foundation like this, I pretty much always use a sponge to help sheer it out. Alright, so that was like a little bit too much white mixer, but I don't want to add any more foundation to like mix it down, so I'm just gonna use like blush and stuff to fix that when we get to that phase. For concealer, I'm going to use the CoverGirl True Blend Concealer. This is a new concealer, fairly new. Super funny story about this concealer. So for those of you who don't know, I live in New York. I go to school here, and my class was doing like a field trip to the Hearst building where there's like a lot of like magazines and advertising firms and stuff. And while we were like in the lobby checking in, because you have to like go through security and stuff, I saw this like giant bag of concealers just like sitting on the ground. I'm talking like bag like this big, just full of concealers. And I thought it was so funny, so I like no one was near it, and I just like get out my phone to take a snapshot of it because I was just gonna send it to my friends and be like, LOL, when I say I'm gonna get one thing at Ulta, or like something stupid like that. And as soon as I take the picture, this lady like comes up and snatches the bag. She's like, you can't post that anywhere. This concealer hasn't been announced yet. And I was like, okay, like kind of just sitting there out in the open. I feel like I would be subtle about it, but whatever. And so I just like saved the picture and like looked at it, and I was like, sure enough, it's this CoverGirl concealer. And keep in mind, this is back in like April. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, cool, CoverGirl's coming out with a concealer. I'll make sure to keep my eye out for it because I like their skincare products, not skincare, base products. And so I like sent it to like a couple of my friends who like actually care about makeup, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. And they like sent it to Trendmood. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That's annoying. I like want to be on good terms with these brands in case I ever actually like get big enough to be doing brand partnerships and stuff. And I don't think this came out till like August. I think it was at a Walmart while I was visiting home, and I saw that they had this concealer, and I was like, oh my god, it's the concealer that I've known about for like 4 months and have just been like checking CoverGirl to see when they come out with it. So that's like my little stupid story about this concealer. Some stores have it for like $13. Don't buy it for $13. Shop around, you can get it for $8 because I paid $8 for it. Anyways, I'm setting with the Joa Beauty Selfie Ready Setting Powder in Peach. This is my fave drugstore setting powder right now, and it is $10 on the dot. I'm going to contour my face, which I don't do like a whole lot because I feel like I already have like a rather noticeable shadow in my cheekbones that I just like don't need to. But it's fall, so we're going for drama. So this is the NYX Sweet Cheeks matte blush in taupe. It's $7.50. Basically like any NYX blush that's the shade taupe you can use as a contour. Like they're all the same shade and I don't really notice like a huge difference between formulas. So just use what works for ya. And they're all like nice and affordable because it's NYX. This is the Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm just like lightly getting up in that little niche of my cheekbones. And we're gonna go under my nose to make it look like I have that cute like lift thing. And we're getting up here in the brow. Not the brow, what is this? The hairline. I was about to call it the brow line. What? So I try to like be chill about how much ColourPop I use in videos like this because I already talk about ColourPop so much, but I don't have a ton of blushes, so I'm using my ColourPop. My cat's trying to crawl inside my makeup bag right now. Anyways, I'm using my ColourPop blush in 2 to 10. These pressed powder blushes are $8, and this is like a nice neutral like pinky rose blush. I also really like their blush sticks. So I'm literally like putting this all over my face since my foundation's like a touch too light. I think it's oxidizing though, so that worked out well. And for highlights, I'm going to be using the Milani Afterglow Powder in the shade Strobe Light. So the full size of these is $10 even, and I have this mini one that was just like on Target's website and I've never seen in store anywhere, and it was like $6 or $7. And it's just such a nice like neutrally highlight shade. I feel like so many highlights are either like super pink or super gold, and this is like a nice just like peachy, isn't like cooling down or warming up your face too much, which I really like. And the formula is really nice. It sits on your skin so well. Mine broke and I repressed it, but it comes with this like cute pattern pressed into it and everything. So go Milani. I really like this product. And for brows, I'm using my e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil, which is literally $2, and it's what I use anyways all the time because it's only $2. Because I feel like you go through brow pencils so often that like even spending $5 on one is like annoying, because it's like, oh, I'm buying this every week, but I also get Starbucks once a week and that's also $5. So like, this is annoying. And for brow gel, of course, the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. I love this stuff with all of my heart. It's like $6, I think. They raised the price of it recently, I think, but only by like 50 cents. But it's just so good. It just really, really defines your brow, like holds everything in place. I love it. Forever repurchase. And I'm doing my like usual under eye formula, where I'm using the darkest shade, which is that dark brown, and just like kind of lining the under eye. And then I'm going to use that burgundy shade. This is like a Morphe brush. I don't really know what it is. I think a friend left it at my house. And we're just kind of blending that shade out a little bit. And I'm going to use this e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. This is like $4 for the mini and like $7 for the big one. And for my lips, I'm using this NYX Liquid Suede Lipstick in the shade Vintage Retro. So the full size of these is $7.50 usually, but these are like these little cute mini ones. And this is like a, I don't really know how I would describe this shade even. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This has been like a cult favorite on YouTube for a while, and for good reason. It's super cheap. It's like $5 at Ulta, and it's like just like an all-around combination of mascaras. Like it has a little bit of lengthening, a little bit of volume, and that's always what I like in a mascara. I don't like when it's like too much volume but not enough length, and vice versa. Another drugstore mascara that I really like is the Kokie Volume and Length Mascara. That one is super good. And this is the final look. It's a nice, chill, grungy fall full face, and everything is under $10. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye!